I'm going to put things in the most simplistic term possible as far as Canada-USA relations as of now and geopolitical strategy overall. Just to put it in the most simplistic form whatsoever so you can understand. So let's move to the Bill Kelly podcast here. Now, he put this out just this morning. World leaders put a target on Canada's Arctic. Should Carney be worried? He brings up the corollary of the Monroe Doctrination or doctrine. And I think you should understand things, and I'm going to put it in very simplistic terms. It started in 1992. 1992, you say? Yes, 1992. A guy I know was working on Russia with Boris Yeltsin to undermine Gorbachev. Created the Russian dissolution of Russia, the new formation of the Commonwealth Independent States, which was Belarus, Russia, and Ukraine. Okay? Number one. That was number one. Number two, do not get caught up in the noise. Trump's strategy is a three-pronged strategy. USA controls the West, Russia controls Europe, China controls Asia. Now, Russia and the U.S. are on board. China is maybe yes, maybe no. They're starting to read what's going on, and so they're a little wary about Russia at the moment. And this is where we're at geopolitically. And this is why Ukraine is being thrown under the bus. And I'll give you a perfect example. It's a de facto explanation that here, you see right now, here. This is the American support to Ukraine. And you'll see that little blue part, all those little blue parts in the graph, that's the U.S. money going to help Ukraine. And as soon as Trump came into power, you'll notice little blue dot there now. And then, no, it's just yellow thereafter. Because one thing, Trump does not want Ukraine to become part of Europe. Trump wants Ukraine to become part of Russia. Why do you think this past summer, June or July or thereabouts, almost 500,000 chicken eggs went from Russia to the United States? Canada's on one side, Mexico's on the other side. Easier to get chicken eggs from there, wouldn't it? No. They're reframing how the world is going to work. And this is what the national strategy is about. And it tells you right here, so this is the security strategy of 2025, where the United States is explaining that they are going to reinforce their ideology. And this is a step up from the you got to understand, in this national security strategy, they make reference to the Roosevelt corollary of the Monroe Doctrine in 1904. Okay, so people bring up 1823 Monroe Doctrine. Let's get real. Let's focus on the Roosevelt corollary of the Monroe Doctrine of 1904. And this is where Theodore Roosevelt himself took a more aggressive approach, but also a passive approach. Whereas right now, with the USA national security strategy, it's a very aggressive approach to exert dominance in the Western Hemisphere for the express benefit of the United States first and foremost over anybody else. And this is where it's coming from. Now, after 1904, which had a lot to do with mostly Latin America, which you're seeing with Trump right now. But here, the good neighbor policy of 1933. So, a relative of Theodore Roosevelt was a guy by the name of Franklin Delano Roosevelt. He took a different approach, the good neighbor approach, which lasted up until the Obama years. In the Obama years, this principle started waning in order for a more USA-only optic. And this is where things have greatly changed now with Trump. And this is what you really need to understand is at play here. It's got nothing to do, everybody gets caught up in the noise and trying to figure, it's a very simple thing to figure out. Trump wants to control the Western Hemisphere. He wants Russia to control Europe, and he's going to give up Ukraine in order to do that. That's why you see his stance with Ukraine the way it is. He's going to try to break up NATO and the Europeans in order for Russia to be able to assert their dominance. And what they are hoping is that China falls into its natural position from their point of view to govern Asia. And that's the reality of things. Meanwhile, you have to understand Russia's economy, and this is where Brian Mulroney understood, Russia's economy is not a huge economy. It's just this nuclear thing. Everybody's getting caught up in the nuclear. Everybody's caught up. Once you go nuclear, it's over for everybody. So don't kid yourself. Don't get caught up on that, well, we're going to pull out the nuclear card. Once the nuclear card comes out, it's over for everybody. So that's just a waste of time going in that direction. So the U.S., the free markets, and their economic system, they want for the world, and they want to dominate that for their benefit first and foremost. And that's why we've got what's going on now. So don't get caught up in the noise. I may do another video explaining in more detail how we can address these concerns. So that's where we're at. Questions, comments? Just throw in the comments section. Try to be civil. A certain standard of decorum when you do post, please. And love and peace to everyone. Take care. Ciao for now. A media space and a lot of the same problems. I'm Michael J, and this is Borderline Politics, where we cut through the cliches and compare real policy, culture, and power on both sides of the 49th parallel. From free speech to healthcare, housing to populism. If it matters,